Hello. Um, I apologize if you can hear my laptop. It's working pretty hard right now. Um, my camera lens is also in a different spot, so if I look up towards the corner like that a whole lot, it's because I'm used to my camera being up there. But, you know. Anyway, Shadow on the Wing is a 2018 book. It's 2018 Reverse Harem by Katya Moore. It's fantasy, and on the cover it says that it's draconic romance, which I assume just means that there's going to be dragons. Meet Arcia Belmont. She's 21 years old. She has a job at a bar, and her foster family threw her out at 18 without clothes because the new girl wore her size. That's a terrible thing to do. The barkeep took her in. And I read the description for a lot of them. She's nearly kidnapped in all but the last 3 books. So, wait, no, I'm tired. It's almost 4 a.m. I didn't say that correctly. She is nearly kidnapped, and all three of the last books involved kidnapping. I'm not gonna edit that out, nor am I going to refilm it. I'm too tired. Fortunately, she was saved before she was completely kidnapped, and there was a private investigator looking for her biological parents, and there are 3 dudes, Cassidy, Chase, and Galen, and they know stuff about her, and these are 3 out of the 4 they were going to be in her harem. And in usual style of a lot of these books, she has to pick one. I mean, we know she's not going to, but so they know about her real family, so she's decided that she's going to hear them out, and they tell her not a whole lot. Apparently, Sia, which I'm going to call her from now on, Sia is the Queen of Shadows, and the 4th boy, his name is Arik, and he's pretty pissy. So Galen is an earth dragon, and he's a healer, so he's an EMT. Cassidy is an ethereal dragon, so he's a keeper of knowledge. Chase is a fire dragon, so he's like a warrior. And Arik is a water dragon, so he does finances. And Sia is a shadow dragon, so she's the last one. Actually, I don't even think she ended up having to choose one, because she said, like, as a throwaway, when she was little, she remembered, like, having 4 dads. So I don't think she actually ends up having to give up any of them. They just get kidnapped a whole lot, because in typical style of these books, I do have an announcement at the end of that. So the guys from that night in the bar who tried to kidnap her, they were part of a cult, and Sia accidentally killed them, and they will be back. Galen explains more stuff. They want to sacrifice her to bring about evil, so that's pretty fun. To become a Shadow Queen, she has to mate with 1 dragon of each kind, but I read the description of the next book. Nobody wants it to be those 4, because they're like the outcasts, and they want it to be like fancy people, but Sia is obviously in love with these 4, because that's just how these things work. She takes all of this pretty well, besides the last part about having to mate and nearly chokes on a hot dog. Symbolism. The 4 of them aren't necessarily the ones that she'll sleep with, but I mean, all dragons are drawn to unmated shadow queens, but we all know how this is going to go. Sia has a friend named Missy, and she is obnoxious. Arik isn't a total dick. This dude named Billy likes Sia, but she doesn't like him more than a friend, even before the 4 dudes showed up. So the next chapter from what I just explained is the one where we find out that they're all like riffraff and outcasts, kind of like Sia is. Chase is about to mate with her when the Elder Council like shows up. Not the Elder Council, when the cult shows back up. So they get rid of them. Sia's sad because she can't go home anymore, and she spouts off about her life, but as it turns out, she kept moving foster homes because the Elder Council was like doing stuff. They were moving her around so that she would never get attached to like one person, I think. And like there was a point where Sia was with somebody who was really happy. She was really happy with that person, but they moved her again because they didn't want the cult to find her. Because, you know, rather than bring this girl into dragon culture where she can be protected and learn about dragon culture, they've just decided to leave her with humans. I never really understood why like authority figures in fiction do that, because it seems like it would be a lot more advantageous of them to make sure that the protagonist already knows all of this stuff. It saves a lot of time. And like I don't blame that on the writer, because it's a trope that like all of these books have. And like I just don't understand how that's the logic. Like they don't know anything. They have to learn all of this stuff, and they're already going to be rebellious because that's just how they are, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So the boys did tell her the truth. It's not like they were a part of it, so she's still pissed and leave, and because they basically ruined her life. But you know, she comes back and Cass is the first one to have sex with her. They've reconciled by this point. The cult gets her, but she holds her own, and she ends up mating with all of them. I like the guys because they're similar to Sia in that they're outcasts, and the Elder Council can suck a cock because they're going to try and decide who she has to marry, because it seems like the Shadow Queen doesn't have any real power. It's all about the Elder Council, to which I'm like, well, why don't you just get rid of the Shadow Queen altogether? Or why doesn't the Shadow Queen just get rid of y'all? I mean, I guess absolute power is a bad thing, but like this is fantasy, so this book is an example of what Her New Reign tried to be, I feel like. And reverse harem has to have a plot, because if it's not, then it's just porn. And sometimes if it's Her New Reign, it's badly written porn. I don't often describe these as sexy books, but I often describe these as sexy books, but this one isn't very sexy because there's more plot than sex, which I appreciate, because it makes the reverse harem happenstance rather than the entire plot. For a lot of Her New Reign, it felt like the entire plot was the reverse harem, and it was kind of annoying. But here, it's not like that. I imagine it does get like that in later books when she has to figure out who she's going to be with, or the council has to figure out who she's going to be with. Wait till they learn that she's already made it with them. None of the boys are pushy, and they really are in books like this. I can overlook Sia not freaking out due to her always knowing that she was a little bit different. She could always blend into the shadows, and that was how she escaped a lot of the foster home madness that she dealt with. I think Sia has a level of hardness where nothing can break her except for like the loss of family. So like, yeah. Where's this book on the list? Shadow on the Wing. Shadow on the Wing is above Dragon Assassin. I'm not going to read the next ones though, because I read the descriptions and it really just doesn't sound like my type of plot. Also, there's been another change. Even though I really, really like Raven's Harem, I'm not finishing that one either, because I read the descriptions of the next ones, and it's not that it's bad, because I haven't read the book, so I can't say that it's bad. It's just that the descriptions don't sound fun to me. A lot of the books that I pick up, it's because the descriptions sound fun, and the next few books, their descriptions just don't sound like fun, so I'm not going to put myself through that. I am reading 50 Shades of Grey right now, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but If you turn your brain off when you read 50 Shades of Grey, it's actually not that bad. I've discovered. Yeah, I only wrote yikes twice on the first one, but then again, one of them was a huge fucking yikes. So one of my friends told me that the other two books are worse, which I'm not looking forward to. So yeah,